Hey y'all, it is that time for one of our talks, okay? Make sure you're drinking your water too. I'm about to go grab my coffee. Welcome over here to Diamond Victoria Glimmers, okay? I'm so glad to have you here. We are in for a good little talk. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell, okay? Because you definitely want to join the family. We get lit over here, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Make sure you get your coffee. I'm about to go grab mine. Make sure whatever time that you're watching it, maybe you want to go grab some wine if this is the evening, or even if it is the morning, honey, and you on vacation and getting lit, honey, grab what it is that you need to grab and let's talk for a little bit. I've been thinking a little bit and just reflecting on some things as I'm getting older, right? And as I've been reflecting, I've just realized that I've learned a lot over the last few years. I've learned so much about just life, just things in general, right? And I want to share some of what I've learned with you, because if I could have gotten these lessons without going through some of the things that I've gone through, that would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of pain. That would have saved me it would have saved me a lot of disappointment as you're going through your 20s and your 30s, whatever time you're in your teens, whatever, like this applies to all, right? So I was just literally I just made my coffee, and this brings me to number one. That first thing is something really random to me. So I just told y'all I just made my cup of coffee, and sorry y'all, I'm getting messages and pings. So I just told y'all I made my first cup of coffee for the day. I've been wanting to try this coffee, right? And so some of the things that I'm going to tell you, I'm still learning myself to this day. I have been wanting to try this coffee for a little minute because I switched over to decaf. The caffeine was giving me anxiety, yada, yada, yada. And I had seen this coffee on Amazon, and I was like, oh, I want to try it. And it's white chocolate strawberry K-cup, right? So I was like, oh, I want to try this, but then I read some of the reviews and I was like, oh, like a lot of people are saying it's good, but then there was just one person that, they made a whole video, and I was just laughing my ass off because this video was funny to me, right? But they made a whole video and I was just like laughing because they were like, this coffee, it sucks, it's disgusting, yada, yada, yada. And it made me think, because I was like, I wasn't going to buy this coffee, and I held off on buying it because of someone else's opinion on it, right? So that first thing I wish I had learned earlier in my 20s, or even in my teens, if it had been possible, honey, but at least in my earlier 20s, I wish I had learned to take other people's opinions with a grain of salt. Don't allow other people's perspectives to shape your outlook on certain things, right? Now, granted, sometimes they're right, but sometimes they are wrong. And a lot of times we can make our decisions and our choices based off of someone else's perspective, someone else's outlook, and we can let that dim something that could be great for us. So something just as small as this coffee, if I had not paid attention to someone else's bad experience, because people don't tell the full story. I feel like that's something that we miss a lot of times too. People are only going to tell you what it is that they think, right, based off of their experience. But a lot of people don't tell the full story. They only tell bits and pieces to try to make their opinion seem like the right opinion, right? And what I've learned is you can only take those things with a grain of salt. Now, that's something small, right? Just a review, but it applies to bigger things, right? A lot of times we can take someone else's opinion on someone. They didn't tell their side of things, but we're taking their opinion based off of what they went through, supposedly their side of things, and we're applying it as if it's the entire truth instead of finding out for our own selves. And I feel like, and a lot of times in life, you're going to come at crossroads, right? You're going to come at points in your life where you're going to have to make some decisions. You're going to have to make some choices. And sometimes you can miss out on amazing things in life by just taking someone else's opinion instead of having your own experience, because someone else's experience does not necessarily mean it's going to be your experience. You can listen, right? Definitely don't completely shelf what other people are saying. Don't listen for other people to make choices for you. Listen to get their opinion. Maybe allow that to weigh into your decision, but don't let that be your entire decision based off of what someone else says. All right, so lesson number 2, okay? So I wish like crazy that I had definitely learned this lesson earlier, okay? Because I could have saved myself a lot of embarrassment, disappointment, heartache, all of that. I think y'all know what's coming. I think you know number 2. Because you probably been there too. But stop chasing love. I've been reading this book. It is called Attached, because one thing that I've learned is that I have an anxious attachment style, right? And that's another video for another day. But in trying to heal that anxious attachment style, I chased love for so long. And I didn't realize I should have been chasing healing. I think that so many times, you know, when we're young, we just think that, oh, we're young, I have time to do that later. I have time to do that later. Start your healing now. Because when we're chasing love, really that is just a symptom of the true disease, okay? It really is. If I had not chased love, I would have probably sooner been receptive to opening up my heart truly to the person that really would deserve it. Now that I'm with the person that I'm with now, I'm like, damn, like if I had just known that this was going to happen when it was going to happen, I would not have wasted so much of my time, you know, chasing love, chasing the wrong thing. And I feel like with chasing love, you know, we lose so much of ourselves, and we set ourselves back so many flipping steps when we could have just started with the healing in the first place. If we would have just focused on our goals, if you would have just focused on really what it is that you needed to move your life forward. So stop chasing love. Love will come to you. I know that sounds very cliche. Oh, let it come to you. It's true. When I was not looking, when I truly was not focused solely on, oh, let me find the one, let me find this person. When I let all of that go, that's when the right love came into my life. Because I chased it so long, and I ended up being stuck in relationships that I should not have even been in the first place. I would have saved a lot of my time just being okay, being with myself, being by myself during those periods in my life, versus exerting so much energy that I could have been pouring into myself and pouring into my healing. So definitely do not chase love. It's not worth it. I know, like I said, once again, it's cliche, but love will find you. Love will come. Be patient. It will happen for you. Chasing others, chasing love is really synonymous with you need to heal. And so recognize that. Do whatever it is, therapy, reading self-help books, making music. I used to make music all the time. You know, that was healing for me. Like whatever that looks like for you, focus your energy on that. Now, I'm not saying don't go on dates. I'm not saying don't date. I'm not saying don't be open to love. Be open to it, right? If that's something that you want. You definitely want to make sure you're positioning yourself for that, but don't chase it. You know, if people are giving you mixed signals, take that as the sign that they don't want to be bothered. If you're getting confusion or chaotic vibes from somebody, take that as a sign to step away from that person. Because I focused so much, very intensely on chasing love in my early 20s, and that is time I'll never get back. And that just only led me to heartache, that only led me to pain, that only led me to regret, disappointment. It wasn't what was best for me. So recognize that early. The earlier that you recognize that, the better off you will be. I'm telling you, love will find you. Date, have fun with it. Don't think too much into it. I definitely, if you have an anxious attachment style, I'll definitely make a video on that soon. But read this book, y'all. It is a very good book. It's truly a good book. So number 3, focus on your healing. Whatever it is from your childhood. You may not have even had a traumatic childhood, but all of us, I feel like at some point in time, we have gone through whatever it is we've gone through, and we need to heal those parts of ourselves. So healing doesn't happen overnight. It is, I feel like, a lifelong process. You know, focus on your healing. Focus on those parts of yourself that are still crying out for attention. Focus on that. Listen to that voice in your mind. Listen to your heart, and really let that guide you into what it is that you need to heal, so that you know what it is, so that you're not bringing that into once love finds you. You're not bringing that into your future marriage or your future life. I feel like so many people, that's why divorce is so high nowadays, right? A lot of people are going into marriages not even 1% healed. Like they haven't even started the process. And then once they start the process, you know, it turns them into a completely different person. And that's not the best. That's not the time to do that. The time to do that is when you are unattached. The time to do that is now. Healing is a lifelong process. I'll be healing parts of myself for the rest of my life. I understand that. But ignoring that you have some healing to do and waiting until you're married or waiting until after you have children or whatever it is, I don't feel like that is the best time to start the process. So start that process now. Once again, whatever that looks like, therapy, through your prayers, through reading self-help books, through listening to healing music that's going to heal, or going to yoga or meditating, whatever that looks like for you. Do that now. Start the process now. Don't wait until life is kicking your ass and then start trying to heal. I mean, you can heal then too, but I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to start the process. So at least start the healing process now, and so that you can start reaping the benefits sooner, and so that you can start, you know, seeing that positively reflecting your life. And I feel like when we're going into marriages, when we're going into motherhood or parenthood, there will be a lot less weight on our shoulders as we're entering those chapters in our lives. So I definitely wish I would have started the process sooner. There are certain times, like with my man now, there are moments like, even last night I had a moment, I'm like, I was always a passive aggressive person. And I took the, you know, attachment style quiz. And I realized when I was doing the checklist, right, a lot of who I was very, very attached. Like I'm slowly going to a secure attachment style. I'm slowly becoming more secure in myself as a woman, but there are still bits of me that I'm like, oh my God, like, oh, like I would have done this in my last relationship. And I have to remind myself, like, this is not that. Like, do a 180, girl. Like, don't be passive aggressive. Just be outright with it, right? So I feel like if I would have started the healing process sooner, I wouldn't struggle with that as much as I still do today. But you definitely don't want to bring that into your relationships. You don't want to bring that into your marriage. You don't want to bring that into when you're entering parenthood, because, you know, a lot of people say, you know, parenthood heals you, right? But then you have a lot of unhealed people that, and when I say unhealed, because like I said, it's a lifelong process. When I say unhealed, I mean people that didn't even start the process. You have a lot of people like that having children, and then they never took the time to start the process, right? Because they're so busy. Oh my God, I'm a parent now. Oh my God, I don't have time for that. Oh my God. They didn't take the time for themselves before they entered into that chapter, right? And then they're creating a lot of avoidant children. They're creating a lot of children that are unnecessarily scarred because they didn't even start the process to begin with. So you don't want to do that to your future children. You don't want to do that in your future marriage. You don't want to bring that type of energy, that type of vibe into something that should be so beautiful. So definitely take that time to start healing now. Start that process now while you're unattached, so that you can really focus on you. Number 4, learn, and I probably should have said that for number 3, but it's okay. Number 4, learn your attachment style. When I was talking to my girl the other week, I had brought this up and I was like, oh, I still am healing from my anxious attachment style. And she was like, anxious attachment style? What are you talking about? And I was like, girl, what the hell? Like, you don't know what that is? Like, what? And I talked to my boyfriend about it too. And he was like, huh? Like, he had never heard of an attachment style either. I was like, wow, a lot of people don't know what that is. And that shocked me. And so your attachment style, there are 3, and then there's 1 subcategory. So you have anxious attachment style, you have secure attachment style. We all should strive to be secure. And then you have the avoidant attachment style, and then you have the subcategory anxious avoidant. And a lot of people act in ways that they don't even realize are directly correlated to their attachment style. So once you learn what your attachment style is, like I learned mine is anxious attachment style, your behaviors in relationships will start to make sense. I thought something was like seriously wrong with me, which, I mean, I'm not completely normal, right? But I just didn't understand why I behaved or thought certain things in relationships, why I felt certain ways in discussions with people. Like Why was I like, why am I this way? Why am I super anxious in relationships, with friendships? Why do I behave in a certain pattern? And when you learn your attachment style, it explains and breaks down everything. You'll be like, damn, like this is like, it's like you're reading your whole life story almost. It's the craziest thing. So once you learn your attachment style, a lot of things will start to make sense to you. Why you're still in that 10-year relationship that you knew damn well from day one it wasn't gonna work out. Why you can't let go. And you can learn tools and coping mechanisms for moving on out of situations, for how to evolve in a way that's going to best serve your life. So learn your attachment style, read up on it, take the quiz. They have quizzes out here. And honestly, it didn't even take a quiz for me to understand. I just knew in relationships I acted certain ways. And I knew if I kept acting that way, it would keep interfering with my goal of one day being married. So definitely invest in time and learning your attachment style. I'm telling you, it takes a quick second. You kind of, like I said, it kind of is self-explanatory. You know, if you feel, anxious, or if you're avoiding, like you don't let people get too close with you, you have trouble with intimacy, whatever that is, pretty self-explanatory, honestly, just by reading the label of what the attachment styles are. But definitely invest in finding that out for yourself. It takes a quick Google search, y'all. I'm telling you, it will open up your mind in ways that you don't even realize. Like, it stems from your childhood. It stems from experiences that you've going throughout your life. It explains a lot. So learn your attachment style. That'll also help you with healing. And yeah, that's some of the best advice I can give you. Learn that attachment style. I'm telling you. This is the next one, and I think this will be the last one that I share with y'all today. Don't be afraid to take risk. So many of us, and I can give you something personal that I'm going through right now. I've been trying to launch my business for like 2 years. And at some point I realized I'm just gonna have to just do it. And it's not gonna be perfect. I think I've been waiting for the perfect moment. I've been waiting for it all to be just perfect, right? And there is no such thing as perfect. Only God is perfect. So you trying to be perfect in the things that you want to do is only going to delay your greatness. Because if you have an idea, just go for it. Tune out the noise. It's not about what other people think. Just go for it. You don't even know a year from now, if you take that risk, the benefits, like the fruits of your labor that you'll see a year from now, just by taking that risk. By not taking risk, you're just sitting in a place of, honestly, of monotony. You're not going forward by not taking risks. If you're always playing it safe in life, you'll miss out on a lot of joy. Tune out that voice in your head that says, I can't do this, or, oh, this is not the right time, or this isn't a good idea. Tune that out and just go for it. I ran into this woman, right, when me and my friend was visiting me the other week, and we went to this place, and this woman has sat next to us with her husband, and we got into a conversation. And she's a woman in her 50s, and I asked her, I was like, what is some good life advice like that you wish you had known, or that you can pass on to me, right? I love asking people that question, whether they're 5 years older than me or 50 years older than me. I love asking that question because everyone is going to give you a different answer. And she said, just simply take that risk. I was like, what? And I realized what she said, that's true. Like, if you want to go on that trip, book the trip. Now, I ain't saying spend your last dollar now. I ain't say all that. But if you're like, damn, I've always wanted to go here, but I don't have any friends to go with me, go anyway. Be safe, but go anyway. Don't wait for others to validate your ideas or to validate what it is that you want to do. Take the risk, tune out the noise. It is easier said than done, but be proactive with it. When that negative thought comes through, Counter it with something positive. These people out here that are super successful, they didn't get that way by being afraid. They didn't get that way by playing it safe. They got there by taking the risk. And yes, they took L's. You're gonna take L's. I've taken some L's, but those L's are just lessons. Don't keep playing it safe. Take those risks while you're young because you can easily bounce back. As you get older, I will tell you, it gets harder. That's all I have for y'all. I'm gonna finish my coffee, okay? I'm sure I'll be making more videos like these. I like doing these. But I have some vlogs coming soon for y'all, so stay tuned. I got some trips coming up. Definitely want y'all to be a part of that. And I have some more videos that I'll be dropping. It is Veda, honey. It is Veda day 3. I was gonna drop a vlog tonight, but I think I'll save that vlog for tomorrow. Tomorrow is what, Friday? So I think I'll save that vlog for tomorrow. Thank y'all for watching. What are some things that you learned or are learning as you grow? I definitely want to hear that down below in the comments. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a nice giveaway. So drop a red heart below in the comments if you want to be a part of that, because I'll be going through all my videos and I'll be entering you in a drawing once I hit that 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you go ahead, subscribe first now. Don't be funny now. Subscribe first and then drop that red heart in the comment below if you want to be a part of that giveaway. I'll give more details as we get closer. As you can see on my subscriber numbers, we got a little bit more ways to go, but that's okay. But I'll see you on the next one, and take that risk today, okay? All right, y'all.